Champions Network, hear our song. Stronger together where we belong. Champions Network. Champions Network. Champions Network. Champions Network. Stories of hope, dreams set free. Lighting the world on CNTV. Champions Network.
Vatariri ndinokuchingamidzai kuChampions Network TV tiri PADARE RAMHIZHA, where we discuss my issues about Zimbabwe and Africa at large, and particularly today we are zeroing in on Zimbabwe, especially tiri around our constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026. Saka nhasi tiri kuda kuedza kutsanangura kuti ma-elections akakosherei ende uye why ma-citizens achifanira kugara akagadzirira nyaya dzema-elections, ende tobva tazobatawo kuti ko iro bill number 3 iri riri kutaura kuti tiri kudiko pamusoro pekuti ma-elections anenge achizoitwa how often, because ndiwo only nzira yatiinayo sama-citizens yekubvisa utongi kana tisingaufarire kana tichida kuchinja mutemo. Saka kuti titange chirongwa chedu tina vazembe vari pakati pedu vanova sekutaura kwandakamboita kuti is a seasoned politician and also a governance and expert and a business person is in his own right and a mentor. So regai ndipe nguva ino kuna vazembe kuti vatiparurire chirongwa. Vazembe.
Tinokutendai mubato wechigaro RAMHIZHA, tiri padare raRAMHIZHA, ndichikwazisazve vadare vedu tadzoka padare vava Sorojena, Whitehead navaJoka. Dinotenda zvikuru. Thank you very much, Chair, for introducing this topic, the importance of elections. These are general elections, the importance of holding elections in a country. You know, elections are a system of appointing a government. In a system of governance, which can be described as a civilian system of government, a government that is appointed by the people. And the mechanism is that of holding elections that are free, that are open, where those who are said to be having the right to choose leaders depending on their age. And currently we have a universal age of 18 years to say that a citizen of a country who is 18 years and above is given the power to choose public leaders as members of parliament and as councillors for local governance. So those who believe in civilian rule, which in this country was fought for based on majority suffrage, that means everyone in the country who has attained the age of 18, as I have said, and above, is given a right code zero to make a choice, a decision of who shall be the president of a country, who shall be members of parliament, and who shall be local councillors in local government structures. So, you know, if elections are not held in a country, then it means public leaders have no support and their power is said to be illegitimate, which means haina kukwana, haina kutsigirwa navanhu. Saka, if you then have such a leadership, it will in fact create instability in a country. As you know, a country is made up of the population. For example, in Zimbabwe, about 16 million people. And if you have a leadership that has not been elected by the people in an open and transparent manner, that leadership may lack stability in the sense that it will not be trusted by the people. And that community may not be stable in how it is governed on a daily basis. And therefore, that will affect the activities of wealth creation, that is economic activities, will be affected. If the citizens do not trust the leadership, it means that there will not be any conducive environment to embark on the economic production of goods and services that are required in order to sustain our lives as citizens of this country. This is how important elections are, and also connected to the ideology of elections is that they must be fairly predictable, which means that they must be regular in terms of the period within which governments stay in office before the new elections are held. Citizens need to be certain to some extent to say, once they've elected a government now, that government has to run the affairs of the country for a certain period of time, and after which a new phase of elections is held. And that has to be done systematically and regularly. That is how you maintain peace, stability, and order in terms of governing communities that are called countries. And so elections are really at the center of this philosophy of civilian rule. That is the outline I thought of giving out as the phase one of introducing our discussion tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vazembe. You have outlined the importance of elections being a system of putting leadership in position. And I think you mentioned that it has to be fairly predictable in terms of the system of putting it, and also how often within reasonable timelines. And the voting bit is actually the age of 18 and above. So that is a contribution from Vazembe. Tombonzwa joka kuti muono wenyu unoti kudi maringe nema-elections.
Good evening, panelists, and good evening, viewers, my listeners. Tino kutendai nekutiteerera kwenyu kuuya muchirongwa chino dare ravamhizha. Vamhizha tinokutendai nekutipa nguva yakadai kuti titaure nevamwe tichizwanana kuti zviri kubva kupi zvichienda kupi. Right, totora todzoka panyaya yataurwa yatsanangurwa zvakanaka kwazvo yekunzi ma-elections akakosha zvikuru. Kungoti munoziva kana uchitaura kukosha kwama-elections tingopa semenzaniso mutaura kwamaita Vamhizha. Handiti munoziva kuti kuna vanhu vanotaura kuti kana zvichinzi glazi riri half, mumwe anogona kuti half empty, mumwe ari kuti half full, but at the end of the day it's half. Imabva mapamuenzaniso wokuti izvo akanakira kuti kana muchida kubvisa hurumende yamunenge musingadi, ndabva ndatanga ndakadzipwa nekutanga kuti tikataura kuti kana tichida kungoita maelections tinogona tichida kuita machanges apo nepapo, tichidawo kuimprova kana kuti tichida kuadjusta kumasituations, because nyika dzatinorarama, these worlds are dynamic. So with that dynamism, the changes should also be complemented by my elections. Should we follow this or we should follow that? Hatirambe tiri stagnant, hence the need for elections. So I think in general, we all concur that elections are very important. And also, one of the things about elections is that vanokura, people have got a life cycle. So that when the generations change from one generation to the other, or vanhu pavanokura ipapo, pane panozosvikawo kuonekawo kuti uyu mukuru wakwegura, chirega tichitiwo machongwe madiki aya achikukuridzawo pamutanda achiuyawo nezvitsva. Saka I think tinowirirana ipapo kuti maelections akanaka. Kozoti tikaenda kune mabumbiro emitemo yenyika, hakuna bumbiro remitemo yenyika riri universal. Nyika nenyika ine bumbiro remutemo waro warinopota richigadzira richiwirirana nezvavanenge vachitaurirana kuti izvi zvedu izvi, nekuti hatingagari takangonyora mutemo unenge uri absolute. Mutemo wokuEngland haufanani nemutemo wokuZimbabwe, haufanani nemutemo wokuMozambique. In terms of constitution, it is something chinenge chiri kuwirirana nevanhu vacho vari in that particular space. But tikapota tichizongoapproacha mutemo manje takatora mumwe sestandard, ndopatinozoona tichizopedzisira tangoita kakutsikana tsoka zviyazvo. Saka ngatimbosiyira ipapa pakutanga kwenyaya yedu. Makamute Hamhizha, makamute.
Takunzwa vajoka muono wenyu, mukabva manditsiura kuti kune half empty half full. Saka hatingotangi nekuti ngatiisei maelections kuti tipise mutungamiriri wenyika. Ngatinogona kuita maelections kuti tichida kuti tive nekushandura zvinhu zviri kuitika. Mukataura mukukosha nemaconstitution, nekuti nyika nenyika yega yega ine maconstitution ayo atinogona kuda kuchinja zvichienderana nekuti magariro edu achinja. Rega ndidainze vaWhitehead vapo muono wavo. VaWhitehead, munogona kumboya mumbotipawo muono wenyu pamusoro wenyaya watinawo kuti kukosha kwamaelections, and tobva tangozvibatanidzawo neConstitutional Amendment Bill number 3 kana muine zvekuwedzera zvichienderana kuti zvinonokochekerana papi kukosha kwamaelections neAmendment Bill number 3. VaWhitehead. VaWhitehead, muri kundinzwa here?
Okay, ndatenda. Muri kundinzwa?
Ya, tiri kukunzwa loud and clear.
Muri kundinzwa here?
Tiri kukunzwa zvakanyanyisa.
Hello?
Tiri kukunzwa zvakanyanyisa.
Muri kundinzwa here?
Tiri kukunzwa.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, nrukukunzwai.
Saka chienderera henyu mberi takateerera. Zvinoita sekuti ivo ndo vasiri kutinzwa. VaWhitehead muri kutinzwa here? Endererai henyu mberi. Maybe VaWhitehead vanogona kudo. I think network yauri kwanetsa. Takavamirira kuti vadzoke mudariro. Tinodzoka kuneme vazembe. Manzwa zvataurwa navaJoka vachitaura kuti tese tinotenderana nemuono wekuti maelections anokosha nekuda kuti tinenge tinogona kuti magariro edu anenge achichinja uye kuti mabumbiro remutemo anokoshawo ende uye kuti bumbiro remutemo enyika imwe neimwe anosiyana zvichienderana netsika namagariro enyika idzodzo ende uye kuti kana nyangwe ndikuti nature inotiudza kuti tinokura. Saka kana vanhu vakura tinenge takuda kubvisa tichisawo machongwe madiki anenge achichiri kutemwa dzinobva ropa. Saka toda kukupai mukana wekuti maybe muchiwedzera panyaya iyoyi yemaelections ende uye kuti zvinokunokochekerana sei neConstitutional Amendment Bill number 3 ndokupai vazembe.
Maita mubato wechigaro. Constitutional Amendment number 3 Bill of 2026 intends to rub off elections from the electoral agenda of Zimbabwe. We have had this electoral agenda since 1980 at our independence. The whole idea of elections, to say after every period, we will have elections after every period, general elections, that is, in the elections that are aimed at appointing a government for our country. This has not been hidden. Yanga isiri handioni iya yokuti hauzivi kuti zvii zvichaitika, because a government of the country is a company for everybody in Zimbabwe. The executive to occupy office, to be in charge of public affairs for all of us as citizens, is the practice that in fact we fought for in the liberation struggle. And I could say that that was really central, because everything follows after we have elected or after we've appointed a government by the majority through peaceful elections. Then a citizen would be stable, would be safe, would know who is in leadership, and would also know that in case they fail to perform their public functions, it would not be necessary to change that government after a year or 2 years. But we had been accustomed to a 5-year period now, to say that even if something does not go on well before the expiration of 5 years, citizens would be patient knowing very well that after 5 years, there will be an opportunity to correct the mistakes or to revamp a leadership, as Vajoka has indicated, to renew a leadership. Because people age, and sometimes also we know that people get sick and they die, and also that some people will have proven to be very inefficient and very corrupt. So the nation, the people will be given an opportunity to elect the new leadership. Now, this CAB3 conspires to ban elections. Now, I've read the sections. There's none that assures us as to if should it go through now, as to when the ZANU-PF government will allow citizens to appoint a government through an election. The planned 2028 elections are being banned by the CAB3 bill. Should it go through, it means that for the first time since independence, the whole idea of holding periodic elections will have been banned, which means the nation will just grope in darkness, you know, living every day in darkness, not sure when an opportunity will be there for you to elect your local representative, your member of parliament, and your president. This is really something that will cause panic, because citizens will not be aware of who will continue to provide leadership and under what circumstances. And especially when you are told that the members of parliament will elect a leader whom you don't know, but whom they know, a leader who may not be a member of parliament, anyone whom they think should be elected into president can just come up, and strangers running this nation and getting into such important positions without the people knowing these characters who may end up being presidents. This is pretty dangerous, and it is unhealthy. So this is why personally I think that is the biggest blow to our national governance and our stability, that this law intends to abolish the holding of 2028 elections and beyond. The fact that this bill wants to say 2030 is being said, but definitely it's uncertain as to when will this country be allowed to hold elections after the intended elections of 2028 are banned. And this is very serious. And this, in fact, will cause a lot of upheavals. And until people get to establish an electoral timeline, there will not be any peace, there will not be any stability to talk about. This is my understanding and my view of what will happen if this bill is allowed to go through and be plugged into governance of this nation, which will trigger a lot of anarchy and chaos. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Vazembe. you raised quite a few important questions there. You categorically say CAB3 intends to ban abolish elections in 2028, and it doesn't then give an indication and when will be the citizens of Zimbabwe then hold elections again. And maybe casting a thinking there to say if the elected members that are that we elected in 2023 with a 5-year term, if they manage to extend their period with 2 years, what will stop them to put another bill to extend maybe another 5 years or so? I don't know. And now I'm coming to Vajoka. Pane a key issue raised one hour Zembe Kuti. How would then what the president will be elected by the parliament, and how is the candidate for president will be chosen? If you might shed light on that, if you can, and also respond to some of the issues that are always on about Zambia and Amunen one when pamusoro pazvo. Kwamuri Vajoka.
Okay, thank you very much. I think firstly, we need to select our words carefully, because if we say banning elections in 2028, are we using the right terms? Kuti banning count kuti they've been moved or postponed to 2030? Because tikati banning and banning indefinitely, all these things are clearly laid down step by step. Kuti if we say we are moving them to 2030, then thereafter we are changing the interval to be 7-year interval. So I don't know where the speculation of saying it has been banned indefinitely, where it is coming from. Because these things are coming in and there are some teachings that are going on people to really understand what is going on and what has been planned for the future. The moment we focus on false speculations, yes, for now we can say there is still those arguments. Yes, people should argue, right, what is going on, kana kuti tingazobva nekupi tichienda kupi. But kuti patanyatsosvika paextent yekutoti tatowira murima, akuchina chichaitika mberi uku, hazvibudi zvakadaroka. Mukanyatsoiverenga ma-adjustments ari kuitwa pa-constitution akati wandei, but manje kana paine one yekuti munhu anenge ati iyi handiidi, all the other ones hapana achada kutomboatarisa kuti aya ari kurevei, zviri kudii, because unenge waisa mafilters munzeve wakuti ayo hakuna kwatiri kuenda. Tinenge takuita selective hearing yekuti toda kunzwa zvatiri kuda. Vafana vachidiki vanotaura nyaya yekuti izvo tinenge takuzvifonera. Ipo paine zvinhu zvinenge zvakataurwa neurongwa hwazvo, ngatifambe nazvo tichiona kuti tiri kubva kupi tichienda kupi, zvichazonakirei. Right, then ndodzoka futi kuCAB yamatiri taureyo, CAB3 yacho iyoyi. I think patatanga kupa nyaya yangu I was going there zvangu, patachitaura nyaya yekuti kusheu nemarongerwo anoita maconstitution anoenderana nezvamune muchionawo zvinenge zvichiitika munyika menyu. Tikambotarisa kumashure maelections anga achiitwa, yes there are standards, yes there are things that will be expected, right? And then if we look at what really happens on the ground in terms of the elections, there's been a lot of things dzaisara dzisina closure, if I can use that word completely, rekuti izo closure, because you would find that after every election panenge paine maarguments mamwe anenge achiramba achienda, mamwe anotozotanga achatosvika futi kunext election, of which all those things they end up now disturbing even the development of the country, because takutongoita kunge zvinonzi tinoraramira kuvhota. Nekuti nyaya yandambotaura yekuti panenge pambogara pambonzi hapana kuita closure, saka panenge pachikora pachingonzi pane mangange, pane kudhonzerana, nguva ichitofamba ichingoenda. Asi dai kuri kuti vanhu taidzidzisana tikataurirana zvakanaka kuti kana taita maelections kana apera ngatichimboitai basa, tozoaonazve sekutatasanidzwa zvakaita constitution yedu, kuti tozoaonazve after 5 years. But nenhau yekuti paanenge amboitwa pacho kutaurisa kunenge kuchiwanda, vanhu voramba vachingoti handizvo 5 years dzinopera muchingodhonzanirana ngoti handizvo. Ndo zvinova zvimwe zvezvinhu zvamboda kutiraya kuadhireswa neCAB kuti tikazopawo 7 years munhu anongozvizivawo kuti vakomana, saka zvinoreva kuti for the next 7 years ndichange ndichingotatarika nenharo yekuti izvo paya zvakazodai paya zvakazodai here. Because the way we run our elections and the way we actually interpret and take it also after looks like it's different from other countries. Sekuti pakaitwa maelections akapera vonyarara vomboita business vozotanga mamwe acho kumberi uko. Ndozvandakachitaura manje ndikati zveconstitution izvi zviri contextualized, kuti munenge muine zvamaonawo, muono wamunenge maonawo nekwamabva, moita extrapolate data, moenda mberi kuti based on this, that and that, what is likely to happen in the future. Then motry manje kuti okay, hatitore ma-actuaries vatibatsire kuona kuti mberi kunei kana tambobvawo kutakadai. Anditi asi still tinenge chitaura nyaya imwe chete kuti aiwa akanaka maelections ngaaitwe, asi ngatibvumirane kuti kana taaita ngatibva tambodzima chikamu ichocho tochimbotanga nekuenda nemberi, pane kuramba takangodhonzana, hatichingodhonza danda risingasviki, harisviki. Haminogara ndapindura 1 or 2 dzezvambobvudzwa navazema.
Aita basa vajoka mataura kuti I think kuti maelections ari contentious, vanhu varamba vachidhonzerana, saka ngatiende ngatiaite 7 years kuti nguva irebe. Asi muono wangu hausi kungorebesa here nguva yacho yekudhonzerana, because kana tisina kugadzirisa chaita kuti vanhu vadhonzerane, vachangodhonzerana nyange mukavapa 50 years, vanongopedza 50 years dzedzo vachidhonzerana. Because I think nyaya ameno kuna vanotaura nyaya yelegitimacy, kuti inenge mukaona manhingi vanhu vachidhonzerana kana vachidii, panogona kunge paine crisis of legitimacy. Mataura zvakanaka vazembe vanogona kunge vazvinzwa kuti pamashoko kuti kubhana zvakanyobva papi, tine umbowo here kuti zveshuwa abhanwa kana kuti tinofanira kungoisawo mashoko anoratidza kuti pane an element of speculation, an element of reading in between lines. Vazembe ndogona kupaiwo muono wenyu mukataenda raundi ineyi takubva taenda kuti tizinopendera kuti nguva yedu isadarike nguva yakati wandei tiri pachirongwa. Vazembe
nazvita henyu mubato wechigaro, vajoka chandiri kutaurira kuti kubhana ndechekuti tichibva sure uko tatakawirirana kuti tapedza masarudzo muna 2023 tichazoita mamwe muna 2028. Ndo changa chiri chibvumirano tichibva sure uko. That was our national constitutional agreement. Now, what is being proposed clearly is to ban the 2028 elections. Because zvaifanira kuita is to enter the 2028 elections and then perhaps in the political competition, maybe ZANU-PF could have introduced the 7-year cycle in its manifesto, so that with that manifesto, the nation would know that should they vote such a political party into office, it will in fact cause an amendment to change the electoral cycle from 5 years to 7 years. They should have come through the front door, not to ambush people. You know, we are 2 years away from 2028, and then this proposal comes up to say, let us not hold the 2028 elections. Clearly, that is banning. Given the background I have already alluded to, we were in agreement 5 years. You could actually take your calculator and predict for the next 100 years that in such and such a year after 5 years, that in such and such a year after 5 years. That is how nations should be run. Not this idea of Chiwandeland and Juma Jumai. Inotokonzera. Saka andifungo kuti ndashandisa varari siro. And that is the truth. We also hear from the people these sentiments. And that people were wishing to correct things that have not gone well in 2023. We know, it is public knowledge that our 2023 elections were very chaotic and very unopen, and a lot of shady deals were done. Clearly, we did not get this from observer missions. But at some station where I voted next door here, we actually had to discuss these issues as elections were being rigged. You know, we were participants in terms of trying to vote, but then we discovered we couldn't have ballot papers, but elsewhere there were ballot papers, and that you could not even access certain, material that we should have accessed, and some of us ended also being a part of the election management team trying to solve the problems, because we really wanted to cast our votes But there we were face to face with processes of inefficiency and the processes of rigging completely. And so the 2023 elections have gone into our record as the worst rigged elections ever since. And that is what we intended to correct as a nation in the 2028 elections. But tough luck, the elections will be banned by CAB3 if it goes through, as Zimbabwe dictated, that they are going to make it an open vote. What it means is simply bereka mwana vanoda vajoka momira uko vanoda vamhizha momira uko in a parliament when an important issue is being decided like this one. Yet in general elections we use a secret ballot decision-making process. Why would we use bereka mwana or mirai uko vanhu vachionekwa kuti zvii zviri kuitika in terms of decision making? This is intended to injure those who have decided otherwise. Those who have taken a position will have their interests, economic, financial, social interests being destroyed. We cannot have such a system of government at all. The parliament should be a dignified assemblage of representatives of the people, where there is absolute freedom to interact, but to make also decisions. At best, you use the ballot method of voting throughout the whole world, even in the private sector companies, in civil societies, where you have contentious issues. The best is to use a secret ballot decision-making process. Well, I talked more of that. Let me just complete by saying on this note that those who say elections are being expensive will be expensive. I don't think they are saying any valid point, because right now, if you look at how public finance has been used, a lot of money has been lost to corruption and inefficiency. And when elections are held, the expenditure on one side is income on the other side, here in the country. So you are not losing. If you spend money on one side, it will be demand on the other side, and therefore that will develop the economy. So it's improper to say elections are costly. No, that is being said ignorantly, trying to justify banning of elections in the country and doing it in manners that are not reasonable at all, or that are not informed. Thank you very much, Chair.
Maita basa wa Zembe. I think I will give Wajoka an opportunity to respond before I then give each one our final remarks. Wajoka.
Okay, thank you very much. I think when we look at things, for instance, you are talking about the 2023 elections being the worst, and of which you have pointed out one thing, which is logistical errors. Dzekuti zomabox mamwe aenda uko kune vanhu vashoma, kune vanhu vakawanda vamwe vazoshaya, then tazinge takuda kuita mismatch kuti tichitoraya tichadi. Those are logistical errors that can be found in an election. But however, when we are coming now to the issue of bereka mwana yamuda kuramba iyoyo, if we look again at my elections, I'll go back again to 2023 you're talking about. you find people vachitaura nyaya yekuti this ballot box system has created more problems for us. I still remember ndichinzwa vamwe vanhu vachipedzisira vakuti kuchiredzi kwavhota nenzimbe vamwe voti kwamutoko nemango dzakavhota manhamba. Zvese izvozvo tazvitarisawo tikaona kuti saka zviri kureva kuti pamwe zviri kunzi mubox, vamwe vomboti hanzi box national rakatakura zvinhu zvakavhotwa kare. Zvinotochiti ngatichiitai zvechidhaka zvedu zvinonyatsoonekwa kuti uyo neuyo ari kuseri kwauyo, makuti zvashata futi. Tokuitai sei vakomana? Vabhizha.
Muda kuti vanhu kana tichita general election toita vanhu bereka mwana pa polling station. Funga vabva vapfumba muromo wavo kuti vapedza kutaura. Ngatichipai muono wedu wekupedzesera on this topic. Most importantly, I always say you must have a message, particularly this channel for now, to our parliamentarians, because they are key people when it comes to the voting for the CAB3, and also our citizens. What message do we give to our citizens so that they can communicate those messages to their MPs and whoever is involved in the final decision of the CAB3.
Thank you very much, Chairman Misha. My parting words are: let us go back to the people for guidance and their wisdom. Solutions are in the people. It is the people's wisdom. We have to go to the people so that we have a workable constitutional framework and also electoral framework. What Rajoka has been saying were actually deliberate, weaknesses, deliberate sabotaging of elections. It didn't start in 2023. In fact, they started way back soon after independence. All elections that were held, none of them were done in terms of the people's law or people's values. Let us go back to the people, because the elections belong to the people. That's when people make decisions to appoint their leaders. But the leadership of government organizing rigged elections over the 46-year period betrayed the people because of incompetence. You find that these leaders are afraid of the people. This is why they are conspiring to have laws, the constitution and the electoral laws. I mean, just doing it among themselves as the president, as the MPs, without going to the people. And eventually, the truth is that the people's power will decide the future of our country in terms of governance and appointment of legitimate governments. It's now one whole struggle from colonial administration to the present day administration, 46 years after independence. So let's go back to the people and allow people to make decisions that should go into how this nation shall be governed in future. Thank you very much, Chair.
Magamuta Misha.
Right, then back to ask Kunemiwa Joka, your parting message to our members of parliament into the general public, and any other message that you may want to send to our viewers across the globe.
Right. My one big message is that when we say we are talking about the citizens or the people, we talk of representation when we get to the parliament. Parliamentarians are the eyes of the people. Those parliamentarians are elected so that they represent those citizens. Like the way you have just been saying, kuti bereka mwana haiite tinoita muparliament. That's why pachizoitwa simple representation. So those MPs are the same as the people on the ground, because they get there to represent. There's nothing very special about those guys. It's just that they represent groups of people, which is a normal way of running things. Nokuti hatingakwanisi kuita bereka mwana tese muparliament, the whole country of 14 million people. So I just want to say, let's just embrace the system and agree to say those people represent the masses. That's what they are there. Thank you, Mr. Mish.
Maita basa vajoka navazembe venge muri adari vedu nhasi, ndita vaWhitehead vangu vachipinda nekubuda ndofunga network yavo inge ichivanetsa. Asi ndoda kukutendai. The final message kubva kuna vazembe hanzi, let's go to the people. If we want the working constitution, let's go to the people. If we want a working electoral system, let's go back to the people. So the people in parliament, they are representatives of the whole population. Nenge takada kuita bereka mwana nyika yose, asi zvinogona kurema kuita pa constituency ine 14,000 people kuti tiite bereka mwana vanhu 14,000 vari mudunga mushure mevanhu vavanotedzera. Saka ngatiite bereka mwana iyoyo kuparliament as a representative of what the people of Zimbabwe would want as a voting system. Saka with those parting words, those who are watching us, if you have got any comments, please share your views, and so that we also discuss them here on the platform. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to either Champions Network TV, NDWG Global TV, and Mbire TV. So with this, Toti Musare Shakanaka.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Goodbye to everybody.
Thank you for watching Champions Network TV. Make sure you click that like button and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get the ding 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 every time we do post our videos.